The last thing I wanted to ask you about today was the three qualities of the mind.
Okay. So, according to Ayurveda, there are three qualities of the mind: Sattva, Raja, and Tama. So, before telling you what is good or what is bad, I would like to highlight on all the things. As we say, nothing is poison or nothing is nectar, but it's the balance. Even in small doses, a poison can become a medicine. And in more doses, even a medicine can become a poison. So similarly, if we look at it, none of them are good or bad, but it is more of the balance. For example, sattva quality in a person, and everybody has a more or less combination of these things. Sattva is very necessary for seeing the things as they are. Not being biased by your likings, dislikes. For example, you don't like certain person, and whatever idea she will project or she will put forth, you say that, oh, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's because it comes from her.
Yeah.
So you're biased by your likings. But then you should, for a minute, take off your liking or disliking for her and think at the aspect which she has put forth. That's true knowledge. And then think over it, whether it is good or bad. So that is seeing the things as they are. So, for example, some people may think that, oh no, this food is good for me because I like it.
Yeah.
No, it's not a thing. How it's interfering with your health. Like, for example, whether it is enhancing your health or whether it is deteriorating your health. That's thing you have to
see
consider.
it for what it really is.
So conscious living is one of the most important aspects. Yes. So choosing your actions as well as food, thinking beforehand whether it is required and what it will do. So for example, getting angry. Oh, it's natural tendency. We may get angry, but reflecting on that.
Yeah.
Whether it is useful
Yeah.
or let me calm down, think over it and then get back to it.
Yeah.
So these are the things which help you to consciousness, which helps you to see the things as they are. Rajas is something which is put into action. We are put into action by our desires. You want to do something.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to excel in your career, you stress yourself, you do all the things to reach that place.
Yeah.
So, and that's required, because if you want to excel into something, you have a determination and you work towards that. That's good.
Yeah.
But then when you neglect other aspects and just work towards that, then that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
You have not maintained the balance.
Yes.
Or aggression. You want things to happen in your own way, but if it's not happening in that way, you get angry and irritated and you don't know what to do, and then you think of probably I'll leave this association and just go away, and they are like this, and we take a decision. So if things don't happen in your way and you harm yourself, that's the bad quality of Raja.
Okay.
And Tamas is something which is more of inertia. It will not let you move on, or things will just get stayed there. So, for example, all these three qualities are required. Sattva is required for true knowledge. Raja is required for driving us into action. Otherwise, we would just be idle. Knowing the true knowledge is not enough. You have to put it into action. And then Tamas is more of rest. So you sleep at night because of the Tamas quality. If that is reduced, you probably won't. The Rajas gun will be more into action. You're thinking constantly, and that will not give you good night's sleep.
Yeah, that's familiar.
And some people will more indulge in sleeping.
Yeah.
They eat some things and just go to sleep, sleep for hours together, and still they are lethargic, lazy. So there are certain things which help you to enhance these qualities as well as reduce these qualities.
Yeah.
Now, as we saw Vata, Pitta, Kapha,
Yeah,
these are the three doshas, because all three of them possess the quality to create imbalance in the body. But in case of the mental qualities or mental gunas, Sattva is something which is always recommended, and it doesn't cause a disease. You know something, the true knowledge will never cause a disease. But then when there is an imbalance in Rajas, whether it is high or low, then a disease can happen. Or if the Tamas quality is high or low, it should be in balance. So a good balance will give you good sleep, and then you wake up in the morning, that's due to Raja.
with energy to do what you
Yes,
need
that's
to
required.
do.
I
Yeah.
need to put into action. I can't just be sitting here idle.
Yeah.
So all these things are in balanced quantities, and they help us live life.
Yeah.
You know, like we live life or enjoy our life all
Yeah.
due to these qualities. But then when we use some things more than others, then probably imbalance is created.
Yeah.
So these two doshas, Raja and Tama, these mental qualities are called as manas dosha or mental doshas because they can create an imbalance.
Okay.
Sattva can never create an imbalance. So
Okay.
that's why it's not called as a dosha. It is always called as a guna
Okay.
or a quality.
So sattva is something we aim for.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. During our treatments, we always try to analyze.
Yeah.
For example, depression people will be more aligning towards the tamasic quality.
Yeah.
And anxiety people will be more aligned towards the rajasic quality or kind of built-in anger and all these things. And the kind of food they eat, you know, like in Ayurveda, we say that a subtle quality of food also nourishes your mind. So the kind of food you eat also adds to that, increases that or decreases that depending upon what kind of food you eat.
And yoga practice and breathing.
The aim of
Yeah.
healing a person is to see the things as they are.
Okay.
You know, like you may be biased by your likings or not likings, then
Yeah.
we need to, as Ayurvedic practitioners, we tell the clients, this is the reason of your illness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you see that. We show you the mirror.
Yeah.
And then, so you're enhancing, and in order for him to believe you,
Yeah.
he needs to have the faith in the
Of
science
course.
and faith in you. So
Yeah.
we need to build in that trust, faith in us.
Yeah.
And then for these things also, we have certain practices like yoga and following a diet which will help to enhance that. For example, milk or rice, mang dal, ghee, all these are called as sattvic in nature, and including these things in the diet of a person will help to enhance the sattva quality.
Okay.
As we say, so that calms down the other bad qualities,
Yeah.
imbalance in the qualities, and then helps him to gain that faith.
Yeah. Okay.
So if
okay.
you know, like you're angry, and then
Yeah.
after you do your yoga practice, you calm down,
Yeah.
and then you sit and listen to a person,
Yeah.
and then you it's getting in.
Yeah.
You know, like
okay.
you're absorbing the information.
Yeah.
In the aggressive mind, you can't think of a person
Yeah, no.
absorbing the information.
Yeah.
He will be like, whatever you say, he'll go against it.
Of course.
I do all this. I
Yeah.
eat a good food. I eat a healthy food. But then he'll not accept that something he's eating is not good for him.
So when you find resistance to the kinds of recommendations you might make, you can see that as even more evidence of an imbalance in a person.
Yes, absolutely.
sense,
And then
can't
we use these are diagnostic
Mm.
as well as we use them for treating the person.
Yeah.
So you know
okay.
that, okay, he's so aggressive, probably that quality is being increased in him due to the kind of his nature, due to
Yeah.
his absolute nature, and also kind of food he's eating.
Yeah.
Because a person who is always involving in eating spicy stuff
Yeah.
or more of the qualities of Rajas food as more of hot
Yeah.
and it will
So
increase that
pitta,
quality.
like, is it?
More similar to pitta,
Yeah, more similar.
because that will put into action. But for example, garlic
Yeah.
can increase pitta
Yeah.
and also increase the quality of that heat in the body
Yeah,
and pitta as well.
Mm.
So tamasic is more of meat, alcohol,
Yeah.
which creates a cloud
okay. Yeah.
on your wisdom
Yeah.
and can't see the things as they are, and
Yeah.
you always feel depressed.
Yeah.
And most of the antidepressants
Yeah.
or probably most of the mental health medicines do those kind of numbing the things
Yeah.
in your brain.
They act on your neurotransmitters, don't they? or
Because
something?
someone can't sleep, they'll give them pills to sleep.
Yeah.
But
okay.
you know, like, and they think that
Coming at
usually
from
it
a
is
different
thought
angle.
that your mind is in your brain, but it's not always so. If the mind was in the brain, but just by sleeping, you should have felt the difference.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah,
you're thinking,
Of course.
you're
of
just
course,
numbed.
Of course.
You may be thinking a lot,
Yeah.
the process is happening, and there is no restfulness.
Yeah.
So mind is all over the body, and more
Yeah.
probably, I would say that working, you can only work towards enhancing its quality. For example, you know, like if I'm looking at that tree outside, but I'm speaking to you. I'm just looking at that thing, but my mind is speaking with you,
Yeah.
and it's concentrated in our conversation. So even though I'm looking there, probably I don't realize what I'm looking at because my mind is with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So getting your mind
Mm.
and using it, because just as your mind can get into more actions which can cause you illnesses, you can use this mind to get rid of ailments.
So
So
positive,
use this
yeah.
mind to enhance
Yeah.
those activities in your life, or the diet, or include those things in your diet and lifestyle which will help you. But for that, your mind has to be under your control.
Mm.
Probably you could be listening to me, or I'm talking to you, but my mind is somewhere else.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
can't really get what you're saying, or I can't really get your questions.
Mm.
So for that, your mind has to be under your control. I have to tell my mind, I have to be in this conversation and not elsewhere.
Yeah.
Something is happening at home, that's none of my business
Yeah.
right now. I
Yeah.
have to be present here.
And that's such a, I don't know why, but it's such a challenge.
It's a
It is
challenge,
such a
and that's how you start including such activities in your life
Yeah.
to get your mind under your control.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to give some,
Mm.
like in our verses, we recite some shlokas every day,
Yeah.
and just before sleeping, because we recite certain shlokas related to Lord Hanumana,
Mhm.
who has that power of wind.
Yeah.
And we say that mind is like wind. You need to be keeping it under your control.
Yeah.
And this is the Lord Hanumana who has the mind under his control. So we used to, from childhood, I have been reciting these
Yeah.
shlokas, and I tell my child also. The one day he asked me, what is the meaning of this?
Mm.
I was like, I never thought about it.
Yeah.
But then having a background of Ayurveda helps me a lot with these things, because it says that Manojamam Marudatilya Vegam. So that means the mind has a power to reach different places.
Mm.
Like I'm sitting here, but my
You
mind
could
could
be,
go to
yeah.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
Could go to London, India, somewhere else.
Of course.
But then you need to give it some work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of work will you give? Otherwise, it will start bothering you. And so many clients tell me I have problems meditating or sitting still,
Yeah.
and because my mind is always functioning. It will function, and it's a sign of life.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Yeah. Nice.
But
Nice start.
you give it some good activity to do. For example, signs of what are the different things in your body which will tell me you're alive.
Mm.
One is your actions,
Mm.
other is your breath,
Mm.
and one is your pulse.
Yeah.
So I need to look at these signs of vitalities if I want to know whether you're alive or not.
Yeah.
So similarly, we can't do anything much about the pulse, and heart rate is not under our control. So what we could control a bit is our breath.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you give your mind to concentrate on your
Focus.
breath, observe the breath,
Yeah.
and
It gives it something.
for example, we
yeah.
are all breathing right now, but
Yeah.
when I say interfere with your breath and take long inhalations and long exhalations, hold your breath or after inhalation or after exhalation, and then observe your breath as if it is coming from your core
Yeah.
and just a little bit outside your nostrils. You become so conscious of the things
Yeah.
happening around you that your mind, for a moment,
Yeah.
it gets some work to do.
Yeah.
And then slowly you build in this practice that it could go to 10 minutes, it could go to 1 hour.
Mm.
And then you slowly get your mind under control. Patience develops.
Yeah. It's a skill, isn't it?
It's a skill. And I don't expect it to, or anybody should not expect it to happen in a day or two.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I have been doing yoga for the past, right since I was 20 years of age. And it's been a practice. And I can see every day I'm growing.
Yeah.
Every day I see something new happening.
Yeah.
It was me, I used to avoid the
Yeah.
breathing practices, or just like, do the asanas, I just want to do the body movements.
Get me out
and
of
get
here.
away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to reach late so that to avoid that grounding things.
Yeah.
Then realized I can't do the poses well.
Right.
I'm shivering. I'm like losing my balance.
You're not
because
here.
my mind
Yeah.
is not calm down. Or
Yeah.
not with the body.
Yeah.
I'm thinking so many things
Yeah.
while I'm doing the pose.
Yeah.
And I'm forgetting to breathe.
Yes. Yes.
So whenever you're not able to maintain a certain pose, my yoga instructor used to always say that, oh, you're holding your breath. I said, I'm breathing. How did you know that?
Yeah.
No. You're shaking. So that means you're
Yeah,
holding
you're
your
not.
breath.
Yeah.
You release that thing. Don't hold things.
Yeah.
If you want to stretch, you breathe out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how important. And then eventually I started realizing when I'm anxious, I forget to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true for everyone.
Yeah.
Or we have short breaths. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not oxygenation. The oxygenation is not having control on our body.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this vital energy we could use, the prana or the connection, because that's what is nourishing our internal prana.
Yeah.
If this is being looked at, or you give this job to your mind
Yeah.
to concentrate on your breath,
Yeah.
I like this way of meditating much better than any other kind of meditation,
Yeah.
because this takes me, I don't need any other tools.
Yeah.
Breath is always with me.
Yeah.
And you can do it anywhere and everywhere.
And it kind of, in a sense, so for Tamas, it gives us something to do. So we're not
Yes.
just
Sitting
idle,
idle. Yeah.
but Rama, Rajas, it quietens Rajas
Yes.
down. So
But this could also put tamas into action.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's something
yeah.
which is
So
you're putting into action.
give it something to
But
do.
it's not hyper action.
Yeah, yeah.
And some kind of breathing exercises are good for agitated minds. Or for example, there are pranayama practices like Kapalabhati, which is like forceful expiration,
Yeah,
and this gets the tamas into action.
yeah, okay.
But Quite, it wouldn't be required for a rajas,
Yeah.
wherein you need more of calming ones,
So,
which is
yeah.
like a bumblebee pranayama, or like in a Brahmari pranayama we call it, or alternate nasal breathing,
Yeah.
because they want fast,
Yeah,
and you can't do these things fast.
Just let them
You
down.
just have
Yeah.
to, okay, it will take some time, but
Yeah.
it will slow down.
But the breath is always available to us. So that's something that, once we start to
So,
learn those techniques.
if you look at the kind of exercises or things which were mentioned by Ayurvedic practitioners, they would do all the things with the available things. Like
Yeah.
they would use their body to stretch,
Yeah.
rather than using any artificial instruments to
Yeah.
do that, because they use their body weight
Yeah,
rather
yeah,
than
yeah.
using any other weights.
Dumbbells. and-
Because you don't
yeah.
have to wait for something or depend on something
Yeah,
to keep these things in your routine.
yeah. And then it's about the knowledge that you have inside of you of the tools that you possess already,
Of course.
rather than thinking that it's all outside of you and you need to go and find it or someone needs to give
This
it
is
to
absolutely what helps me in my day-to-day life, because if it's raining, you may not feel like going out and exercising in a gym or going for a walk.
you. Yeah, yeah,
But you can always sit at home,
Yeah.
grab a mat, just
yeah.
be by
Brilliant.
yourself. You have your body, you have your breath.
Yeah.
Just work on it. That's it.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it, Shweta. Thank you. What a great way to finish.
It is.
That's
So
cool.
I think more about yoga and Ayurveda,
Mm.
both are sister sciences, and both come to the same thing
Mm.
of conscious living.
Yeah, conscious living, that's one too.
So it's not about doing yoga for 1 hour or half an hour or 2 times a day or 3 times a week,
yeah,
but it's about, okay, I'm doing something, whether it is good for me or not.
yeah,
So I'm making a decision,
yeah,
think about it,
yeah,
whether it is going to be good for me or not.
yeah,
And the beauty is, it's not just for you,
yeah,
how the impact will be on other people.
yeah.
Whether I should say this, what he will feel.
Mm.
So it's about personal.
Yeah.
So we have 8 limbs of yoga: yam, niyam, asana, pranayam, pratyahar, samadhi. So yam, niyam, all these things are about how personal and social behavior of a person should be.
Mm-hmm.
Not even thinking about doing wrong to others.
Mm.
So forget about the action, but like your
Your
thoughts,
thoughts, yeah.
are the seeds for your action.
Yeah, yeah.
So even not even getting that thought of doing something wrong to others. So you create a harmony amongst your social network, and you take care to keep yourself clean, mentally, physically, and always involved in spiritual practices, because that enhances a person's conscious way of living.
Yeah.
So those things will help you. Then involving pranayama practices could help you to build in patience in your body, and also use this prana to there are so many different reasons. People would always say that there are always side benefits of these things.
Yeah.
You can't really say it will do this, and there would be some benefits which you wouldn't even expect to happen.
Yeah.
And that happens.
And there might be benefits that you, or some, depending on what traditions you come from, you might not even directly make the connection between this is improved in my life, at the same time as I've been, upping my.
And it has happened because when I started doing yoga, I did it for weight loss.
Yeah.
I was like, I was such a person. I would be more like a person who would not be a gym fan.
Yeah.
And I can't really. But one thing about me is, if I determine something, I will do it.
Yeah.
But there was always a fear in my mind. If I don't get to go to gym, probably I may put on more.
Mm-hmm.
And this was my thinking about that time. So let me try doing some yoga because it's slow, steady, and something which suits me.
Yeah.
But when I started doing that, I realized different aspects of it, that it has made me to check my diet as to what time I sleep, what time I wake up, what I eat the day before, how it makes my body feel, whether I'm more flexible or less flexible. Because when you are learning yoga, you want to do it to the ideal position and you want to reach there faster. But then you don't realize there are so many aspects of it.
Of course.
It's just laying the foundation. So your diet, lifestyle, everything plays a very important role in that. But then people would feel that even I do yoga, even I do exercise, still I'm not happy. Contentment has to happen from within.
Yes.
So you have to create your own concepts of happiness and sadness. And like people, there were so many things which people, my yoga teacher used to always say that people will come and tell that yes, we need companions, we need people. Man is a social animal, so we need people around us. But then if somebody leaves us, or like due to unavoidable causes or whatever it is, we may feel that we are drowned into the ocean of sadness and all. But then my teacher used to always say that just hold your breath and see who cannot you survive without. So you just hold your breath, and then you see whether you can survive without that person. I mean, whether you cannot live without that person or without
your
the
own
breath. So
Wow.
a man or woman is complete by themselves, but all these things are required, and there would be moments of sadness and happiness, but not using them. Not abusing those things or using them properly. Giving yourself some time to settle down when you're sad, rather than fastening yourself to take some action. So I can't live without him. Attempts of suicide and like harming yourself or something like that. Give yourself some time. Let that clarity in the water come. Let the dust settle down. Then you can see your reflection in that, and then make your decisions.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you, Shreya.
Most welcome.
That was a lovely conversation.
It was.
So much.
Most welcome.
So much wisdom. I appreciate it.